some people who were saying the Mavs are better off with AD instead of Luka. So there was a little something to that three.
And he's trying to say, you know what, I'm going to show you what you're missing. That's what you want to do to an ex, right? He sizes up Max Christie this time, and then he's able to hit that three. He would score on all 6 half-court defenders that picked him up in the first half here. But then how about the other 2 members of the Lakers' big three? Lakers out in transition here. Austin Reeves throwing it up to LeBron James. Watch him here. He goes up and gets it. Here's what LeBron had to say about Reeves' comments on that alley-oop connection.
He keeps telling me, hey, you know what? I think I threw it too high. That's what he keeps saying.
Well, later, it would be Reeves' turn here, DDJ.
Yeah, I love the Reeves and LeBron relationship, dating all the way back to the meme of LeBron trying to whisper to Reeves about plays, and now look at them.
I do too, but this game, it was all about Luka.
Anybody could tell with my reaction. His reaction to Bron's reaction was about as clear as mine as the shock was.
Well, yeah, and then it was also fourth quarter LeBron James. He put on a show, really, in the fourth here. Second in the league in fourth quarter points this season, and he continued his fourth quarter dominance. He tallied 13 of his 27 points in the fourth. The Lakers get the win in this one, but as I mentioned, really this was about Luka, and here he was on the support he got from his Lakers teammates.
Big time, because they all had my back. That's what we talked about before the game, and everybody had my back, from coaches to players. And, you know, we're trying to build something special here, and that was really, really nice to see.
Now here with our reporter, Dave McMenamin, who was in the building last night. And, Dave, through the screen, it seemed like it was all cheers for Luka all night long. In fact, it seemed like Luka got louder cheers than any individual member of the Dallas Mavericks did last night. Is that how it felt in the arena?
Absolutely, Malika. We know that Laker fans show up and show out, even in road arenas. So some of that was the cause for the cheers coming from the stands, but also Mavericks fans certainly wanted to welcome him back, and there were Luka chants, there was MVP chants for him. In the first quarter, whenever he touched the ball, the place just roared with clapter and applause just for the mere idea of him being back on the court with the ball in his hands. And, you know, really that continued throughout the night. It was all positive vibes towards Luka Doncic. The only negativity was the fire Nico chants. And those happened early and often. It started with the Lakers shooting free throws when they would do the chant. It ended when the Mavericks were even shooting free throws. You heard the fire Nico chants.
Yeah, they were pretty loud. You could hear them very, very clearly through the TV. We were putting up chyrons of what was being said. I don't think that was necessary. But the big picture here, the Lakers, they clinched a playoff spot. Let's take a listen together to LeBron and the importance of staying out of the play-in.
Anything can happen, so for us to know that we top 6, I mean, you know, in the format that it is right now, anytime you get some rest, I speak for myself. Anytime I get a week off from not playing ball, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Honestly, LeBron, same. But the Lakers, they have been in the play-in 3 out of the last 5 years. How important is this added rest here for LA?
It's monumental. Now, certainly LeBron has found his rhythm in the last 4 or 5 games, really starting since that loss against the Golden State Warriors. So he's looked more like the player he was prior to missing those 2 weeks with the left groin strain. But when you saw that injury report the other night in OKC, half the rotation is dealing with some type of knick-knack injury. So being able to assure themselves to be out of the play-in tournament gets them about a week from the end of the regular season till the start of the postseason. And they can buy themselves even a couple extra days here. If they can beat the Houston Rockets on Friday, they will lock up the number 3 seed. And then that game to end the season on the road in Portland on Sunday, they can just, you know, kind of play the end of their bench and buy themselves an extra 2 days of rest, basically, to get ready for their first round opponent.
Yeah, essentially split, and they can lock up that 3 seed. Dave McMenamin, thank you so much for stopping by NBA Today. But the rest of the West, we're still having things happen up and down the standings. Let's check in, though, on the Thunder. They eliminated the Suns from any postseason contention. That snaps a 4 postseason streak for Phoenix. On the flip side, OKC clinched home court advantage for the entirety of the playoffs, and they had some fun. Of course, this is one of my favorite parts, DDJ, of anything that happens. It's the Nick Gallo post game. The t-shirt, they had custom t-shirts for Nick Gallo. absolutely awesome. Nick Gallo deserves it. He's one of the best in the business. We have plenty of time to talk about OKC because, as I mentioned, they will be rolling with home court advantage through the postseason. So let's talk about the Phoenix Suns as we say hello again to our front office insider, Bobby Marks. About a year ago, it was Suns owner Matt Ishbia that reiterated his confidence in this group. So let's just take a listen together here.
Let's be real, although this isn't a cool narrative and the national media really won't want to play it out there, but like, ask the other 29 GMs. 26 of them would trade their whole team for our whole team and our draft picks and everything as is. Like, the house is not on fire. We're in great position. It's not hard to fix. It's not like we're like, hey, we don't have enough talent to win a championship. We have enough talent to win a championship.
Okay, well, it might be on fire now. That was Matt Ishbia. He can say that his team is literally one of one right now. Of the 30 teams in the league, the only team that isn't in contention for the postseason, the lottery, or control of a first-round pick is the Suns. So let's just start with this is a disappointing season for Phoenix. There's no way around it. How do you quantify that?
Yeah, counterpoint to Ishbia. There's not a single team right now that should want to be the Phoenix Suns in the entire league. They have no draft picks. They have no money. They spend all their money on their veterans right now, and they are not going to the playoffs. Those are the three things. Like, that is an impossible situation to have. And there is an irony here, or a poetry, in the fact that they got kicked out against the OKC Thunder, a team that has taken the opposite approach to Phoenix. They've built through the draft. They punted on when they've had veterans that were expensive, and now they are looking like the best team in the league, and they are set for the foreseeable future, as opposed to the Suns, who had a young core, who blew up that young core, who gave up their draft picks for veterans and a team that is not working. The only option for this team going forward, you have to move on from KD, but that's not enough. You have to move on from KD and Devin Booker if you hope to have any sort of chance over the next 5 years for contention possibilities for this team.
There's a lot to get to there. For what it's worth, the Suns have said, at least for right now, that they're not interested in hearing any conversations around Devin Booker, again, for right now. But if you, Bobby, you worked in the front offices for many, many years. If you're looking up and down at the big and hard questions that the Phoenix Suns need to answer here, what's on that list?
Well, I mean, first of all, this is the most important offseason in Suns franchise history. I mean, just based on a lot of different things. And I think certainly the first thing is, what direction do they go with head coach, which is Mike Budenholzer, who they just hired last year. If they go in a different direction, Malika, this would be the third offseason in a row that they're going to be hiring a head coach. The second thing, of course, is Kevin Durant. On an expiring contract, is extension eligible. Can you keep Kevin Durant and still retool this roster? I think that's a no for me. And then, of course, the third thing is Bradley Beal. $111 million left on his contract. He's got the no trade clause. Can you engage with Beal and his agent Mark Bartelstein on a buyout, even if that means stretching his money out over the next 5 years? And the fourth thing that's not on there is the R word. And as David said, rebuild, right? And the rebuild, of course, would have to be with Devin Booker. But as you said, they've been on the record, Tim McMahon wrote about it, that they won't engage in a rebuild. But where they are right now, you have to look at everything.
That is a litany, a feast of questions that the Suns are going to have to face now as their season is cut short, really. We thought that this was going to be a team that could have had some real noise made in the postseason. But I'm more interested in a real feast right now, if you all would indulge me, because you guys know the Masters tournament, it's underway, and every year the winner of the tournament gets to pick their Masters Club dinner. All the fellow Masters winners, they can attend, but you get to pick whatever you want. And here's what Scotty Scheffler's menu, what he has this year. So it's looking like some cheeseburger sliders, firecracker shrimp, ravioli bites. You think that's a nod to the ravioli?
Yeah, a little situation.
Yeah, Texas-style chili, ribeye or redfish, and then a warm chocolate chip cookie, you know, the skillet cookie. But that's Scotty's. We think that we have a champion of our own that could give that list a run for its money. So, Kendrick Perkins, if you were hosting, what would your menu look like, my friend?
It's crazy because this is the second menu I done. I did one on road tripping, and I'm starting to feel, you know, some type of way. Like, do y'all think I love food? Because I do.
We're just trusted cooking. We think you cook.
Well, look, let me show you.